The Chaos campaign continues to envelop the last remnants of resistance in the Agripinaa sector. The retreat of the Imperium's mobile fortress monastery, the Phalanx, has worked the servants of the Dark Gods into a hell-fueled frenzy. And so begins a sector-wide skull harvest, dedicated to bloodthirsty Khorne, with the souls of the weak-willed offered to seductive Slaanesh. But the true turning point occurs in Scarus, where the final battle with the Greenskins reaches its climax. The traitor Warboss Gorespitta has betrayed his own kind, joining forces with the Chaos fleet. Awaiting the signal, together they will annihilate Gorespitta's rival, Blitzrippa, securing victory for Chaos. Yet victory comes at a price. Can the traitor Warboss be trusted? With his removal, the Greenskins, once a formidable force, would be defeated and silenced forever. Witness chaos, bloodshed, and the demise of the Greenskins in this exhilarating episode. So we've spent a few turns marshalling the forces, getting them ready to take out the Greenskins once and for all. We're going to do it. We've got Dark Mechanicum fleet, we've got the Alpha Legion fleet, and we've also got Malos Vrykan's 96th War Fleet. Let's get in. We can bring 1600 points, and I bought plenty of reinforcements in case this goes south. So let's set up a battle formation. We'll take all of the flagships. The Dark Mechanicum ship, I changed it from a carrier to now the Abhorrent, which is a really cool looking gun battle cruiser. You'll see what I mean. It's got a bunch of weaponry. It's really cool. Next up, we'll definitely take the carriers, because we're no doubt fighting the big space Hulk. So we've got a carrier formation as well as a few extra gun. Long-range lance cruisers are the Thantian Cursors. The Ravager's a bit of a mixed bag. It's got missile launchers and lance and macro batteries. Taking a Grand Cruiser and some light cruisers for scouting ability. We only need one. It's got a very long range scan. Actually, I will take all escorts rather than light cruisers. That way we'll have more sensor coverage. I don't really intend to fight with them, just to watch the battle. So let's get in.
So, the snivelling grots were speaking the truth. We've had spiky boys tromping our backyard all this time. Time to get to the crumping! We will carve prayers to the gods into his upstart flesh. Indeed we will, Malevolence, but we cannot match their fury with indiscipline. It will take more than fervor to win this battle.
Yes, it will take tactics and skill, and staying the hell away from the orcs. We want to shoot them at long range if possible. Alright, so we'll set up a heavy battle line. We've got the 2 battle barges and a Grand Cruiser. This thing here, the Samic Ravager. It's like I said, it's pretty cool. Oh, sorry, this is the Abhorrent. Pretty cool, pretty cool. It's like the carrier, the Janus class carrier we were using, but it's just got lots of stuff. And this is the Abhorrent. Like, cool, look at that. Heavy macro batteries on 2 gun decks. Big spike on the prow for ramming. Okay, we'll set him up actually with the heavy battle lines, because he's got lots of weaponry. We set up a carrier formation. The Janus class is still with us, it's just no longer the flagship. The Ravager looks really cool. I like the look of that ship a lot. It's a Dark Mechanicum ship, that one. That was added with the Skalgrim mod, which is what I'm playing with. This is not vanilla, in case you're new to the series. This is the Grand Cruiser. This is a vanilla ship. We've got the Battle Barge, the Litany of Damnation, and the Sin of Envy, which was stolen from the... I can't remember which chapter of Space Marines we stole it from, but we got it. It was ours. We'll hide the carriers in the clouds. Their job is for later in the battle, really. Alright, let's get underway. We got the first contacts on the board. Smallish formation. We'll send up our escorts. Like I said, they got very long sensor range due to Malos Vykan's ability.
Follow your command. For now.
And we got some escort fighters coming in now. So we're going to send out a screen here to try and intercept these fighters.
Show us our victory.
We don't want to be spotted yet. And we only have a small amount of hiding ability on our side of the map.
We stand ready.
Okay, let's get underway.
We stand ready.
Send everyone to locked on stance to get the maximum from their range. Now let's have a look at the fleet. This is probably the pinnacle of my strength at the moment. Hoping that when we finish this battle we'll get access to Titans, which are even bigger than these. These are just battleships, and the Titans are massive. Very, very beautiful. The crackle of the engines in the void of space. Although unrealistic, it's still cool. Alright, so our fighters haven't managed to intercept these guys, so that is a waste of a squadron. It's unfortunate that they got through. I probably should have set them closer to the formation, our fleet formation. We'll send out a probe anyway. The screen will stay there for a couple of minutes, so the next wave of fighters will get stopped. So we'll try to do our best to work our way behind that screen. Oh, they're all coming back. I've called them back. It might be better to send out a fresh one. Alright, first contact with the orcs. We're going to boost into the cloud just to get a little bit closer to our safety of stealth. And let's drop the boost once we get to the clouds. We're in really effective gun range now, and they are only light ships. Generally get them all in the first broadside. They've run out of steam. They haven't quite managed to get into ramming distance. And so they'll be finished off easily. And we'll loop the line around. It's a very cool Ravager. They're actually plasma batteries on the sides. Send out another probe. I've noticed the AI likes to tackle your probes and bring them back to you. Right, the escorts are in range. They're our real scouts. We'll hide them in the void cloud here and put them in locked on stance. And so they'll be able to take out these platforms here while they do that. Anyone that's been watching the series for a while now has probably noticed that I prefer the missile-armed destroyers rather than the more expensive escorts. Just get more bang for your buck, I think. And they're very, very fast. Alright, so this first formation of orcs is not too crazy. We've had some crazy orc fights previously. There's the Abhorrent there. It's got 6 bombardment cannons, which are crazy powerful. They just really smash armor. And this guy's just been absolutely blown to smithereens. I've got a couple more contacts here. Oh wait, what's going on? Alright, we've got another clan of the boys coming in to try and fight us. A little bit bigger this time. Let's send out a fighter screen. And there are still a couple of ships left from the initial formation, so we'll take them out as well. Here come their fighters, so we were pretty good with the preemptive fighter screen. Orc fighters do damage over time to your hull, so they're pretty annoying. I think the Necrons do the same. But we haven't seen the Necrons yet. They will shoot down the torpedoes as well, which is useful. Gonna drop a Nova Cannon while we've got some time. The Iconoclast destroyers are doing fairly well over here. Staying well out of the fight, but still doing damage. Not very accurate, despite being guided missiles. Our massive swarm of fighters taking out... Oh wait, they got through. That's not fair. Chase them down. Our line's coming astern. Just throwing massive broadsides at this guy. Every now and then you'll see a big blue wave of bolts, and that's the Ravager shooting its plasma, and the Abhorrent shooting its bombardment cannons. And the rest of the orcs are coming down now. Let's have a go. We'll set up anything close as high priority. We'll take out their engines. Queue up a couple of orders for the formation so they don't keep stopping. That's what's going to get us killed against the orcs. Alright, things are looking okay. They are getting very close, but this is alright. If we have to, we'll just sacrifice our line of escorts as a blocking force. Massive damage happening up in the orc formation. Not exactly sure if that was me or they rammed into each other.
We stand ready.
Turn about to starboard to keep the broadsides coming. Get some overlapping fire happening. Our Samak Abhorrent sitting there, the flagship in the rear, just drops shields. He unfortunately doesn't have the ability to put void shields up. His skill, the Dark Mech fleets don't get as many skills as the Chaos fleets. So you got to be very selective, and his skill is longer range weaponry. So he's been our real brawler most of the campaign. And now he's about to get rammed, so we need to get him out of the way. All ahead full. And the Ravager is in the way too, all ahead full. But there's a brutal broadside of plasma batteries, as well as the bomber squadron finishing off the Orc cruiser before it could get too close. And the big rock has been made a drifting hulk from all the boarding actions we stacked on it before. And that's given us some more breathing room against the Orcs. Very, very nice. He's decided to scuttle the ship, get him out of the way. Super Void Shield up on the Litany of Damnation to keep him nice and strong. And that big rock exploding, gigantic reactor detonation. Those warp reactors aren't pretty fragile. Big spread of torpedoes coming in, but we've got lots of overlapping fire from the turrets. Carry.
We stand ready. Told you them blood axes and evil sons weren't fighting enough for this. Reckon you could do better? Show me. You sure, boss? Wouldn't want to deny you a good thumping. Keep drawing or start fighting. You need reminding who's the boss around here. No, boss. Come on, boys. Let's show 'em.
Alright, so now we've got the Bad Mood clan coming in. We've defeated the Evil Sons and the other fighty boys. Pretty sure Blitzrippa will show his face soon. And I am curious as to where the traitor GORE-SPITTIN is, who's supposed to be helping us in this fight.
Setting course.
Send out another screen of fighters because they are fresh orc ships. They will have fresh squadrons. Nice big swarm of fighters from the Yanis class Grand Cruisers. They will probably become my standard carrier, I believe, going forward, unless something else presents itself to be better. Get the morale up on that ship. It was very low for some reason. Form the lineup and get ready for next engagement. Send out the probe. Everyone's getting tangled up in the S shape that I've been drawing with the movement commands. But the Sin of Envy is going to stay separate now because she's got the Nova Cannon.
We are unstoppable.
Do we want to head all the way up here? That might be interesting. Flank them. No, he's spotted, so he'll get shot to death. We'll creep our escorts up to get a better sight and get some missiles in on these guys. It looks like the last wave looked harder. But that's not all of them yet.
Engines hot.
Just absolutely alpha striking one of those orc ships into oblivion.
We stand ready.
Before they...
As the War Master wills.
Now, because the platforms are done, we'll move up our destroyers, get them into harassment range, just to present more of a target to this encroaching fleet. Should be any moment now, and they'll appear on our sensors. Prepare a Nova Cannon because they are moving into that sector pretty slowly.
We stand ready.
About to pop off any second.
Your orders.
And that should stop them completely. That's the Eye of the Omnisire, not the Nova Cannon. It's a secondary ability of that weapon. Slows them down by 90% or so. And looks cool as. We'll send a beacon up there.
Reporting.
But our destroyers are about to unmask them. Looks to be a battleship, a cruiser, two battleships, three battleships and a couple of things. The Eye of the Omnisire is blocking our view. Looks like the Eye of Sauron. I think we've got two dedicated battleships and something really heavy in the middle with lots of life. We'll get into missile range. We're undetected. If we can take out the escorts, then they won't be able to unmask us with their sensors. The rest of the fleet has hidden themselves, making sure everyone's locked on, and we're going to approach this formation.
For the ruinous powers. We stand ready.
Alright, the destroyers, we'll move them away. Oh, they were just on the cusp of detection range, so we'll go into stealth mode. We will lose that extra range that we had,
Engines hot.
but the lead elements of the destroyers still can engage anyway by the look. They don't do a terrible amount of damage, but constant harassment keeps shields down, and that's what their real use is.
We are unstoppable.
Locked on really helps their accuracy. Even at close range, they've got terrible spread.
Victims.
But they're fast.
Show us our victims.
And all of our damage comes from the main line anyway.
Reporting.
There we go, they're advancing on us now. Unfortunately, the amount of orcish wrecks are blocking our fire. So that's going to let this guy get very close. We might need to move out of the way here. And now he's completely pinned between us. Foolish maneuver.
Engines hot. Your orders.
If you can provoke the orcs out one by one, it's very easy to pick them off.
As the war
All of our previous battles have had massive orc fleets. So this is actually pretty sedate in comparison to our previous battles. And I think we've got a couple of defense battles that are lined up still. An orcish invasion. After that happens, I'm pretty sure we're going to watch this Nova Cannon go off. spectacular view of the Sin of Envy as she drops all kinds of hate on the orcs. I think we've got an orcish invasion, but I'm not sure if wiping them out will cancel that. I do know that going forward there will be no more orc fights after this. They won't be able to invade us, and they won't be able to spread to new systems. But these super slow ones are just at our mercy. They're very strong, so it takes a lot of effort. But mostly they don't have any hope. The shield is instantly obliterated. They only have slightly more shields than my escorts. To put that in comparison, the orc ships aren't very well shielded. Chaos ships kind of rely on their shields to keep their damage low. While they have some resilient classes, they tend to be squishier in most engagements. That battleship in the background's just got stacks and stacks of Chaos Marines poured into it, trying to keep him pinned while we take out these big rocks. There we go, the rock is gone. Big rocks destroyed.
You want something doing right? You gotta do it yourself. Gorespitta, you'll attack with me. No way. You ain't my boss. You worthless lump. You fight with me, or you'll get no more fishy flesh from my boys. Got everything I need already. Spikey's paid me good and well. You fable-jawing traitor. Gonna kill you and all.
He's it sounds like they're saying "wah," like he's actually pissed off like a baby. Well, you should be, mate, because we paid well and good. As GORE-SPITTIN said, we harvested all the fishies. This battleship just got absolutely brutalized. Absolutely brutalized in one gigantic alpha strike. Okay, so now we have new contacts on the board. We have 2 Space Hulks. One of them is GORE-SPITTAs, one is Blitzrippas. And we have a bunch of contacts coming in from the south, east, and west. So what I'll do is I'll let the 2 big boys duke it out. And we will send out scout squadrons to all of these orcish formations. That's a very large one. So we'll send out 2 squadrons of fighters there to guard the cloud. And we will rush each of these formations and smash them before they have a chance to group up. So we'll take the southern force first. And then we can fight the other 2 on both sides as we push back in a line abreast formation. Alright, so our destroyers have been left behind. We better get them out of here.
You're weak, Blitzrippa. Always taking the best loot. Getting others to do your fighting. The boys need a new boss. You? You won't last a day, you slack-bellied pile of squid dung. Squid dung? Right. Now this is gonna hurt.
This is slinging insults, but Blitzrippa is correct. Unfortunately, GORE-SPITTA's reign as the new war boss will probably be very short if Melos Vrakan and myself have anything to do with it, as we truly embrace our chaotic nature. Every skull in this system is for Khorne, as was stated in an earlier mission briefing. The World Eaters did ask us to help with the Orc Menace, and so we do owe Khorne the skulls. And our formation is pushing very hard. We've got a battleship coming directly head on. But if we can do this right, we'll smash him just like we did the last one that got very close. So we will turn all port, high energy all port, expose our starboard broadsides and just get them absolutely smashing into him. And we're boosting away to put some distance between us. And he should run out of energy very shortly. Or just life. And the devastation from that attack has left the escorts completely demoralized. They're all exploding. What's going on over here in the Space Hulk fight? It looks like Gorespitta's sending a humongous formation of boarding parties over. Sorry, Blitzrippa is sending boarding parties to Gorespitta. So as long as their attention is on each other, 56 boarding actions just arrived on Gorespitta's Space Hulk. That's a lot of boarding actions. We just lost a destroyer because they're sitting there watching the Space Hulks fight. Put them into running silent, and we'll get them to run up and see what these last orc ships are. We'll try and send out some fighters to give them a screen. I don't want them to be detected. And then we'll send a boarding party ourselves. And the hope is that the fighters will engage and then the boarding party can slip past.
Engines hot.
The other fighter bays are reloading and then we'll send in another squadron. We'll face, bow on. We'll try and get all of our weaponry onto the Space Hulk fight. And there we go. Gorespitta's engaging those orc ships for us and they're actually charging him. So what we should do is get up and smash the enemy warboss. A lot of wreckage in the way. We need to get out of the way of the wreckage.
Show us our victims.
We are hidden from view and we're outside of his sensor range. Our fighters are engaging one of his boarding parties, which is exactly what we wanted. Poor old Gorespitta's got 100 crews of warboys on his Space Titan right now. Grabbing all the ships. And we are just going to absolutely hammer Blitzrippa. Put the Super Void Shield on and drop a probe out here. And we'll move the destroyers out here to harass this fellow, but it's by himself. And once we're free of the debris field, we're going to pour a lot of attacks on this guy. 18 crews have arrived, Chaos Marines, 26 boarding parties of Chaos Marines on board. Some of our boarding parties have exceptional efficiency, others are average, so we'll get mixed results from that. But we will do maximum damage because he didn't go to Call to Arms, which is curious. He might do that when these ones land. 47, he's still not in Call to Arms, so he wants maximum battle efficiency. And he's not worried about crew losses yet. This guy doesn't know what he's doing, he's just watching the fight too, being picked off by our destroyers. It's going to take them a long time to get through his shields. Okay, so it looks like Blitzrippa's going to go for a head-on. He's sent even more boarding parties over to Gorespitta's Battle Hulk. This is an amazing fight. The Space Titans look fantastic. They got amalgam of all different ships inside them, sending in more boarding parties. And we are just going to absolutely hammer this guy into oblivion. Get the entire fleet away now. We've done a running attack. We're getting a little bit too close for comfort. And we're finishing him off with nice solid broadside fire. And he's going to fall in no time. 210 boarding parties are on Gorespitta's ship. And Blitzrippa is about to explode. And he's done for. Massive explosion.
Oh, I said you was weak, Blitzrippa. Now I'm the boss. Oh, hail Gorespitta! Hail in.
I was about to say that.
Now prepare to die. Well, we had a deal, and it is now concluded. You lousy traitor!
Melos is my spirit animal, it seems. Definitely think the same. Alright, let's get into line abreast and we're just going to absolutely smash him. We're going to add even more. The orcs are still fighting on board the ship, despite losing their mothership. Just sending waves and waves of Khorne berserkers and dark Skitarii. Let's get them in there. There is little hope for old GORE-SPITTIN. Our scheme was worthy of Tzeentch's plan, but our success is going to be paid to Khorne. The amount of carnage and bloodshed that's been shed in this system is just absolutely insane. Probably not by 40k standards, it's just a standard day. We'll get some cinematic shots of the final moments of GORE-SPITTIN's life. Our destroyers trying to get into the fray, running into the battle barge, desperate to get their missiles off before GORE-SPITTIN's inevitable demise.
The tribute of skulls fit to please bellicose Khorne.
Yes, let the Lord of Battle see our work and grant us his favor.
How could he not? You have spilled rivers of blood in his name.
Indeed, rivers and rivers. Mountains of skulls, and we have planets still to fall in this sector. A couple more. But for now, the orcs are finished. Done for. Kaput.
The green-skinned threat. Belligerent to the last. They served well the glory of the Blood God, and they were masterfully disposed of. Praise the Dark Gods. The greenskins are routed. They will no longer threaten our holdings around the Eye of Terror.
Then we should return to more important matters. My crews and I are with you. You paved the stars with slaughter. Khorne has granted you his mark and his favor. I feel his wrath, his strength, the fire of his forge in my sinews. The greatest carnage is yet to come. Blood for the Blood God! Blood for the Blood God!
And so that completes our main objective that we set early on in the campaign. And yet the war in the Aegis Ocularis sector is yet to come to anywhere near some kind of climax. We still have many races to deal with, but we have done away with probably the most annoying faction. I guess you could say. They just don't stop. We've got a couple of upgrades, and we've also unlocked access to Space Titans. And so we're going to add a few of the really large warships to our fleets in the next episode, so make sure you stick around for that. In the meantime, let's choose our upgrade. We've got a couple of cool upgrades coming, but they require research by taking certain systems. We've got armor-piercing ammunition at close range, more defense turrets. We'll take less fuel used during maneuvers. That could be very, very useful. And we'll also take the fire on board upgrade because we had 2 points ready to spend. Well, that concludes today's video in the Warhammer universe. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me know what you liked about the series so far. Until next time, Commander Tyrael, out.